everyone, it's Micah Jenkins. Carly and I are so excited to be hosting this call today and to learn from these awesome ladies who have volunteered their time, or I might have told them they had to be on the call. I can't remember which. But all of these ladies are fantastic at applying makeup, and I'm so excited to learn from them. As you can tell, I only have on my foundation because I have all my makeup out here, and I've got my mirror, and I'm going to do it as they give instructions and hopefully learn a whole bunch of tips today. So before we get to that, Carly and I are going to talk for just a few minutes. We won't keep you long, but I am going to ask y'all a question, and you can put it in the chat bar over to the side. So we haven't decided yet what our next call is going to be over, and we would love your input. So if you have any suggestions, put it in the chat box, and Carly and I will do our best to get that call set up in the next few weeks. So as you guys know, this training is all about our fall products. It never fails, I get on here and then it's really loud outside. So anyways, it's all about our fall products. And we are going to learn how to apply those products, what products go hand in hand together, how to market those products, how to upsell those products. So you are able to sell those products to your customers. It took me a really long time to realize that we are more than just a mascara company. I mean, I knew we had all these amazing products, but I didn't sell a whole lot of them because I always pushed the mascara. I didn't know how to talk to people about our foundation and our other amazing products. So we're going to talk about all of that today, and so have your pen and notebook ready, and I am excited to hear from all of these ladies. So real quick, first off, you have to get the products in your hand. In order to sell these products to your customers, you have to be able to give first-hand knowledge and experience about the products. Now, I understand not everyone is a makeup expert. Y'all know I'm not. I don't claim to be, but I can tell them, oh, well, I like this foundation best because it gives a little more coverage. Or I like the eye palettes better because I can hold them all in my hand and it's really easy. Even if you're not a makeup expert, you can give your opinion on the product. So you need to get them in your hand. I was honestly really surprised about how many zeros are still in the back office. So that tells me that you didn't even order the products for yourself if you have a zero by your name, which you possibly could have used Hostess rewards. But if you're one of those people who haven't bought the products yet, you need to get them in your hands. I cannot stress this enough. So maybe you think, well, I don't have any money. No. You're going to host a party right now. You're going to go start a party, either your own party or with a hostess, and we get paid 3 hours later. You can go sell a couple mascaras or some foundation or a couple collections, and within 2 to 3 days, you can easily have the money to buy some of the products. You may not be able to buy them all, but that's the great thing about our company. If you need the money, you can get it. You can host the party yourself and earn rewards. So I'm going to read. This was shared by one of the elites on the team, and I want everyone to do this when we get off the call. So what she says is to get on Facebook, and you can look at your chat bar, and you can see who's online. There's a green dot by their name. So you're going to send them this message. Hey, girl, I just saw you were on Facebook. I'm working on booking some parties for some free makeup and thought about you. So easy. You're going to send it to everyone who's online, and you're going to get some parties booked. So you're going to get the product in your hands, in your customers' hands, and that's how you're going to sell it, because you have to have first-hand experience. So I'm also going to give everyone a challenge. Now, of course, all of these ladies who are on the call today all have amazing selfies. We all steal selfies from time to time. I'm guilty of it. I do it. But you want me to tell you what sells? Your selfies, your videos. I sell more makeup when I make a video myself, and I'm not even good at makeup. But people see that I'm a real person putting on makeup. It's not perfect, but if I can do it, they can. So my challenge to you is when we get off this call today or tomorrow to get out your cell phone and make some videos. And I know that it takes practice and everyone's nervous and you don't like talking in front of the phone or everyone, you know, your Facebook friends. So I'm going to give you 2 topics. This is a great place to start. Download the app Viva Video and make 2 videos. The first one, you're going to put liner on your hand, and you're going to use your faucet and put water over it, and you're videoing this. You don't even have to talk. Anybody can do that. Everyone should have the eyeliner. It came in the kit for a really long time. You're going to show it doesn't smudge. And then you can open it up in Viva Video, even speed it up, put some cute writing. Everyone can do that. In the second video, if you have the shine wipes, when you take off your makeup tonight or tomorrow, don't have to talk. Just take off your makeup. Show everyone how easy it is to get the eye makeup off, especially the mascara. So easy. Put it in Viva Video. Speed it up. Do whatever you want to do. You don't have to talk. It's easy. Anyone can do it. And it showcases our products so everyone can see them. So there's no excuse not to use your own videos and your own selfies. You just have to build up the confidence, post it on Facebook, and just set down your phone and walk away if you have to. I was there, and still to this day I get nervous putting videos out, and that's what I do is I post it and then I walk away. So everyone's going to get the products in their hand, and then when you have them in your hand, you're going to show them to the world. Doesn't matter how you do it, through selfie or video, but you need to show off those products and show yourself wearing them. So Carly is going to speak real quick about upselling, and then we'll get started with our training.
Okay, so Micah kind of hit the nail on the head with these new products. Everybody sees us as a mascara company. These are the products that take you from mascara company to makeup company, and people start buying. The more products that you can get your customers to get hooked on, the more loyal customers that you have, the more referrals that you're going to get. The more products, the better. So it's the perfect time for that. All your loyal customers already are going to want to try this new stuff, and people that have never shown interest in anything before are getting excited about some of the stuff that we have. The weirdest stuff, the eyebrow gel, is crazy popular. Take advantage of that. So there are a couple different things that you can do to sell more than just mascara. The biggest thing is, now that you're going to start making those videos, get more comfortable and do a video with more than one product. If you're just going to do a face, use a primer and a liquid foundation and then set it with a powder. I can't tell you how many times somebody who maybe was interested in liquid foundation watched a video and now they want all the products because they want the full look. It's the same thing. You have to get comfortable with pairing products. If you have customers who are interested in palettes, message them and talk to them and ask them, like, have you ever tried cream shadows, or this palette goes great with this one. You have to get comfortable with really pairing them, foundation and concealer, or I set my foundation with a powder, things that go together, and make sure you just bring it up. So personal message when you have customers interested, whether it's in parties or on your wall or on your business page, just start a chat with them. And there's a couple different things you can say. Just ask them what products that they're using or what look that they're going for, because likely there's more than one thing that they can do to get the full look. And then always match it with a collection. That Cloud9 collection has everything that they need, and it's like a $60 savings. Every single person should be suggesting that Cloud9 collection. It's just a huge benefit, a huge savings. Every person needs that Cloud9 collection. Another thing that really helps me, that I kind of do all the time, but definitely right now, if you have customers who are wanting more than one product, spending more than $100, I would personally don't even ask. Set them up a link for them to order from, unless they're in a party. If they have a party link and they order $145, they're really likely to share with a couple of friends to get that to that $200 to get free stuff, even if they don't have a full party. They just have to get a couple of friends to try stuff. So definitely do the link. Another thing that I started doing, doesn't work all the time, but I've had people recently, they're curious about stuff. Maybe they haven't really tried it. The eyebrow gel is the biggest thing. Like, how does it work? Don't send them a generic video. Say, hang on, go make them a video real quick for themselves. Like, hey, Julie, I think this is the color you'd use. Do it real quick. And then while you're doing that, you're going to do the liner and show the whole thing, so that when you send her that quick video, not edited and professional like you'd post on your wall, real quick and personal to them, they see you using more than one product and get the full look. and then they're going to buy the whole kit instead of just one product. So I'm going to repeat videos, 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 and use more than one product. So that's collections. That's what you need to be focusing on. I don't know who's next.
Hey, I'm going to talk for just a minute. One thing, if you haven't watched Sherry, I mean, I always go back to Sherry Brown because she is just so smart. Her videos are easy to listen to. Go watch the Upsell Hotel. One thing that she said that really stuck with me, and I do this every single time, especially with primer. That was the example she gave, and it's just, I sell so much primer now. I don't know that I ever sold much before. But she just asked, hey, do you use a primer? Or hey, what brand of primer do you use? That way they have to answer, and it's not just yes or no. So ask them direct questions that they have to answer. And then if they say, yes, I already have this primer, say, okay, well, once you're out, maybe think about using ours. It's natural, and it's an eye and face primer. So they may not be interested right now, and you're not pushing it on them and being pushy, you know, saying, oh my gosh, well, ours is way better, you need to get it now. You're just saying, well, hey, think about trying ours next time. So then they think about that, and they may end up buying it right now, or when they're out, they may truly give it a thought. I love what Carly said about making a personalized video. That is so, so smart. Okay, so Carrie is up first, and Carrie is going to talk about brows. I've known Carrie for a long time, probably about 10 years, and she has always been the fashion and makeup guru. Like, that's her thing. And so I knew as soon as I joined Unique, she would be one of my presenters. It took me a while to hook her, but here she is. She is definitely one of my makeup go-to girls. She was at convention with me, or with us, I should say, not with me. She was in my room, though, so I got to claim she was mine. Anyway, so Carrie's going to talk about brows.
All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me. Okay, this is my first webinar. So if you can't hear me or see me, let me know before I get going. Okay, so Micah and Carly asked me to talk about brows. And if you guys know me personally, I am a brow freak. About lost my mind when Melanie announced that we were getting brow products at convention. So there is a huge brow movement, I like to call it, going on right now. I don't know how many like beauty bloggers, Instagram profiles you guys follow, but the biggest thing right now is brows, and ladies want brow products. So now if you have customers who aren't really in like the makeup community or aren't like familiar with the latest trends or whatever, these products might be a little harder to sell just because they don't understand the importance of them right off the rip. So my biggest piece of advice, and this is what I do with every single lady that I do makeup on, I do one brow with our products and then one brow without. I will do her entire face first and then her brows. And I'll be like, okay, what do you think? And then she'll be like, oh my gosh, I look great. And then I do a brow, and it's like a life changer. So I'm telling you guys right now, get these products in your hands and take selfies. I always do like half my face with, half my face without, so you can really, really, really see the difference. So yeah, this is a product that definitely needs to be seen and not just talked about, okay? Full, bushy, big brows are huge right now. You can look at any runway, any supermodel, any big beauty blogger, and they've got these incredible, incredible brows. With our brow pencils, we can give these ordinary women that supermodel look, okay? So I'm just going to break down some general information about the pencils and the gel. It can be found, I know, on Micah's page under the album. I think it's like new product information or new product training. So the first one is the pencil. So this is the pencil. It is a 1.7 millimeter lead tip. I don't know if you're going to really be able to see how thin it is, but it is super, super thin and super precise. So it's 4 times smaller than like your wooden pencil tip. I have a pencil here, but it's not sharpened. Oh, sorry. It contains antioxidants, vitamins E and C, so it's really going to help to kind of nourish your brows, because this is hair, obviously, and it needs to be conditioned as well. It's smudge proof and fade resistant, and there's nothing that says that it's water resistant, but I have had no issues with it coming off in the water, because that would be so embarrassing. Can you imagine if you're like on a date and you like wipe your face, it's raining, and your entire eyebrow comes off? Okay, sorry. Okay, at the other end is a spoolie. This is called a spoolie, okay? It looks like a dry mascara brush. So use this term, spoolie, spoolie. And what it's used for, it's used to like brush up your brows, and it's also used to blend the color, okay? All right, the gel. This is the gel. It's this tiny little baby brush, which is like the cutest thing in the world. See how little that is? And this contains our fibers. They're the similar fibers that are in our mascara. Lindsay just had a question really quick that I'm going to cover before I forget. How would you sell something that you don't use or never had a use for? You get it in your hands and you learn how to use it. That's honestly what I have done with every single product in our line. If you don't use it yourself or don't know how to use it, you're not really going to be able to sell it. Otherwise, I learned by watching YouTube tutorials. I learned by my other wise sisters. But the biggest thing is getting the product in your hands and trying it yourself and kind of learning as you go. Okay, sorry to get off track here. I'm going to go back to the gel. So this product is really awesome for those ladies who have really sparse lashes or brows, you know, like over tweezing over the years, because these fibers are going to stick to those little hairs, and it's like I don't want to say like a brow wig, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like it actually adds like little hairs to their brows. So it's like extensions for your brows, I guess. This is water resistant. According to the product information, this is water resistant. So you will not wipe off your brows on that hot date that you're going on. That would be so embarrassing. Okay, so the pencil and the brow both come in 3 shades. There's light, there's medium, and there's dark. So I'm just going to kind of show you here. So this is light. I'm sorry, my lighting here is really bad. This is light. This is for blonde to light brown or strawberry blonde hair, okay? So like me, I'm like a strawberry blonde. I could get away. This would be like the perfect natural shade for me. Then there is medium. This is medium. I'm sorry, that is horrible lighting. This is going to be for medium to dark brown or auburn hair. And then there's dark, which you can barely see it in person. This is for dark brown to black hair. Now, to match your customers, there's really no like set way to match a person. What I would recommend doing is asking them, how natural or how bold do you want to go? Like I said, since I'm strawberry blonde, if I want a really natural look, I wear the light. If I want like a regular everyday look for me, which is a little bit on the bold side, I go for medium. And if I want to go full-blown Cara Delevingne with her like insanely gorgeous dark brows, I wear the dark. And it's really personal preference. So you really have to ask them and get to know them. And I'm assuming that most customers are going to want more of a natural look, and then you just would ask them their hair color, light, medium, dark, and then kind of go from there. It's not as difficult as like foundation matching. It's really pretty cut and dry. Okay, so yes, okay, I'm going to talk about now the pencil is my favorite because it really gives me like a perfect shape, and I get that awesome like precise arch and shape, and I can do the gradated brow if I want, like the ombre brow where it's like lighter and then darker. The pencil lets me do that. But on the flip side, the pencil takes a little bit more time because the pencil is really about, like I said, shaping. So if your customer wants a very, very quick product, I would definitely go with the gel, because that they can just like swipe on like a brush and then they get that really natural color. Carly kind of touched on upselling. And I just want to go back to that really quick too. With the brow products, I definitely would try to sell them together. So say, you know, they want, say we're just gonna go with medium. Okay, so they get the medium pencil. They're like, oh yeah, I love this. I can shape my brows. I can fill them in, whatever. And then you can say, have you heard of our brow gel? Because this will give you added fullness because it's got fibers in it similar to the fibers in our mascara, and it's going to give you fuller and fuller brows. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I'm seriously the most ADD person, so this chat bar is throwing me off a little. Okay, so yeah, they're the perfect duo to be worn together. And looks like Micah answered the question about the shades, light, medium, and dark. So just for the sake of being able to see in my horrible lighting, I'm going to use medium on my brows, and I'm just going to show you guys really quick how I do my brows. This is like my everyday. I'm not going to do anything super dramatic. This is my everyday look. So you can see my brows. They're pretty blonde. And then, oh, actually what I need to do first, I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm going to brush up the hair, my brow hairs, okay? This just lets me get an idea of where my arch is. I hope you guys can see. It got dark here. Okay, then I'm going to take the pencil and I'm going to start from my arch and work my way out. And I'm going to use a bit of a heavier hand because I like to have a little bit like darker and then lighter on the inside. And then when I go in, I'm just going to use a little bit of a lighter hand. Okay, so I'm doing the bottom first. And then I'm going to do the top. Oh, wait. Then I'm going to brush my hairs back down. And then you can kind of brush through that too and clean it up a little bit. And then again, the same thing on the top. I'm going to use a heavier hand on the outside. And then I'm going to do lighter as I work my way in. And just a tip to know where the outside of your brow should stop. I just use a pencil from the corner of my eye and kind of make an angle, and then wherever that hits, that's where your brow should stop. All right, so now you have your shape. And then I just fill it in, and you just use little like hair-like strokes to fill it in. And then, of course, lighter as you get to the inside. And then just brush it through. Yes, you can definitely mix the different shade of the pencil and the different shade of the brow gel. I usually use the pencil in medium and then the brow gel in dark. Okay, so for the sake of time, also I always twist mine back down just so I don't get any breakage or anything like that. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to apply the brow gel over this, but I usually would. You can use dark if you want it like a little bit darker, like from here, like the middle out, and then blend it. Totally up to you though. All right, so then on this brow, just to show you guys how easy and more natural, I guess, of a look it is with the brow gel, I'm just going to show you how I apply this really quick. It's really simple. It's literally like a brush. And I just brush it through my brows. And you're not going to get as dramatic of a look, but you're definitely going to get a little bit of color. Can you guys see that? So it's really just about going with the natural shape of your brow and like where the natural arch is, I guess. So definitely, you know, if you want like a clean brow like this, I highly recommend, you know, making sure they're nice and clean and there's no strays. We have those awesome little pink tweezers that will get any stray brow hairs. I was going to show you guys then how I get like a super clean line, but my concealer didn't arrive in time. So I think Christy has concealer and foundation, so she might be able to kind of touch on that a little bit. But I just take my concealer brush along the bottom of my brows, the top, and then like right here, and then I just blend, and that gives a really clean, like perfect, very precise look. I think that's all that I have. I hope this helped, and I hope I didn't talk too fast or get too off track. I tend to do that sometimes. So, yeah, that's all I have. Thank you guys for listening to me. I'm going to turn it back to Micah right now.
Thanks, Carrie. That was really good. Okay, so can y'all tell the difference in my brows? I did this one. Can you tell? I have the worst brows ever, okay? So someone was saying that they've never used brow gel or brow liner, that maybe they didn't need it. Y'all, I never did either. I didn't know I needed, well, I mean, I knew I had bad brows, but I didn't know how to fix it. But these are so easy, and I'm not perfect at it yet, but just get the product and start using it. Even if you already have good brows, you can fill in, and I bet you'll see a difference. And it may not be a huge dramatic difference, but there's going to be a difference. Okay, so Nikki was supposed to be on the call with us to do Splurge, but she couldn't make it. So Emma is going to cover both Splurge and the Addiction eye palettes. Carrie, you did a fantastic job. You were made for this kind of stuff, and I always tell you that about making videos and stuff. So I met Emma through Unique, of course. She actually bought mascara from me when her sponsor did a party. And I asked Emma, I don't know if she remembers, but I asked her to do a party, and she told me no. And I was like, so then when her sponsor joined, her sponsor is Veronica. I was like, Veronica, you need Emma on your team. Like, that's your first recruit. And I don't know if that's how it, I don't know if you were her first recruit, but I know she had to kind of chase you for a while, but here you are, and Emma does absolute beautiful eyeshadow. I'm always commenting and complimenting her on it and insanely jealous. So she is going to share some tips and tricks on not only the eye palettes, but the Splurge as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Emma.
Can you guys see me?
Yep, I can see you and hear you.
Okay, I can't see myself, and like, are you supposed to be able to see yourself?
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay, hold on, 1 second. Not happening. Hold on.
Emma, click on your photo down at the bottom, and it'll pull you up.
Okay, it's not happening. Sorry, guys.
We can see you, so if you just want to grab a mirror, you could do that.
I can do that. I was gonna just use my iPad, but yeah, I can do that. 1 second.
Okay, except for
I
now.
guess I can just use my palette then. Okay. So.
But turn your
what?
turn your live video back on though, because right now all we can see is your picture.
Oh, I can see myself now. Yay. Okay. Yay. Okay. Hi everybody. Sorry about that. I'm gonna be doing palettes 1 and 3. And also 1 or 2 of the splurges I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes as I go. But with these products, I'm going to be able to teach you a lot more by showing you how to put them on rather than talking about them. A few things I did want to mention. I had a few notes here. Upselling with the palettes and the splurge. You always want to try to upsell the brushes, obviously. The new brush for the palettes, I don't have that yet. So I'm just going to be using our deluxe brush, the crease brush, and then the liner shader brush for the palettes, and then I do have the cream shadow brush, so I'll be using that for the splurge. I'm just going to get right into it. And I'm going to be doing one eye day look and one night look. So for the day look, I'm going to be using palette 1. These really pretty browns and golds, more neutral, warm colors I like to use for daytime and like more relaxed looks, I guess. I just make sure my brushes are clean because I don't want like any leftover eyeshadow from like the day before on there because it'll just mess it up. So I just kind of wipe it off on a napkin. And then for the day look, I'm going to be using Sincere on the lid, which is like this like light brownish beigey color. I'm going to be using the deluxe brush to put that on. So first I just pick up the color, pick up the eyeshadow. I just kind of like pat it on there. I don't swipe it, just pat it. The bristles really pick up very well. So I just pat and then tap it off a little bit. And then, oh, you probably hear my crazy kids in the background. Start applying to the entire lid. Just short little strokes I use. I tend to use the patting motion a lot just because the fallout, I like as little fallout as possible, which means like the shadow falling onto my cheeks. I try to avoid that. So I just pat a lot. So once that's on your entire lid, I'm going to take my crease brush. Mine looks worn because I use it every day. And I'm going to do Zealous in the crease, which is like a metallic dark brown color. And for the crease brush, I like swirl it on there to pick it up. And then just pat again. Right in there. And the thing I love about the palettes is that they are so pigmented and they go on so smoothly. Like, I have never had an eyeshadow, you can just feel like the quality, seriously, when you put it on. I've never had an eyeshadow go on so smoothly and be so pigmented. Like with my old makeup, if I used like drugstore eyeshadow, I would have to put on like coats and coats and coats to get like a look that I wanted. But as you can see, these are really, really nice pigmented colors. So then I just kind of pat until I get the shape that I want around my eye. Just kind of come down a little over here. And I don't go all the way. I don't like go all the way into the corner of my eye. I like to keep the inner corner light because it kind of just opens up your eye more. So there's that. And then I'll take my liner shader brush with the shader side, and I will use Elated, which is the lightest color in palette 1. And I'll just dab a tiny bit and brush that. Right? Kind of just blend in the line from your crease that you just made. And then some people even like use tape and put it right here so you have a clean line here, but I just take my finger and run it up like that. Nothing too fancy. It's super easy. You have everything you need, literally, in one little palette and 3 brushes, and you have a complete, easy look for the daytime. It's not too dark, not too crazy. So that's my daytime look, and then I'm going to do my night look with palette 3, which this is the first time I'll be using palette 3, so I'm kind of excited. I just got it today. And then I'm going to be using a splurge as well. I think I'm going to use 2 splurges. I'm going to use Dainty and Noble. So Dainty is like the silvery purple, the light silvery purple color, and then Noble is the dark purple from last month, like the plum color. So take my splurge cream shadow brush. I already have some Dainty on there, I think, and just kind of, again, pat to pick up the cream shadow. And I'm going to apply the Dainty to the inner corner here. Leave it just like that. I know it looks a little crazy. but after I blend everything out, it'll look good. So give me just one sec. Take some of the Noble for the other side of my lid. Let me get a little more. And you can use your finger to apply the cream shadow. I know a lot of people do that. I just prefer the brush. I feel like the coverage is a lot better for me personally. And it's just easier for me. I feel like if I try to start using my fingers, I just get klutzy and smudge myself everywhere and make a mess. So just kind of blend like the middle line together like that. And don't laugh at my makeup face either, guys. I know it's silly. And the thing is with eyeshadow and, you know, cream shadow and pretty much anything with the eyes, people get scared, like to do, you know, bold colors or dark crease or anything like that. And there's really no reason to be scared. A, because if you don't like it, take it off and redo it. And B, just have an open mind. And you can always blend anything out to make it look less crazy. Trust me, I've had many years of crazy eyeshadow, and it's taken me, you know, I've had a lot of practice, but with these products it makes it super easy to kind of get a look that it looks like I know what I'm doing, when really this is just how I put on my makeup. It's like I'm not a makeup artist. I don't have anything special really. I've just practiced a lot, and I have amazing products to apply that make it easy. So this is Irate, the dark, it's like black in palette 3, it's the darkest shade. So I'm just going to do the same concept as the day look in the crease. Just bring it up a little higher, and then I'm going to blend all this out. I'm going to take my liner, side of my liner shader and dip it in the Irate and just kind of give myself a little something something down there too, to just make it more of a dark going out type look. Alright, and then I'm going to take, no, this isn't one of my products I said I was going to use, but this is like my go-to shading color. I'm going to take the pigment Sexy, and I'm going to just get a little bit on my shader brush. It's literally, I shade everything with Sexy, and I use it to highlight my cheekbones most days, and it's just a very versatile pigment. Again, I just wipe like that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I have my day look over here, really soft and less dramatic, and then my going out kind of crazy-ish, like dramatic night look that I got going on this side. And also you can do the liners too. If I wanted to do a liner, which I'll do one really quickly on the night side, I use rose water in my liner brush. I usually just spray a little bit of rose water on my brush, or like spray it onto something and dip it in. I'm just going to use my hand right now. And then, again, pat into the color of choice that you would like to use for your liner. And just kind of go for it. And there you have it, guys. A day look and a night look. Pretty easy. Like I said, everything that you need is right here in the palette. And the thing I love too is I've done with my palette 1, I've had it, you know, since, I don't know, the beginning of September, end of August. I've done like 10 different looks with this one palette. You can do so many different combinations, and I like that because I like change and I like to, you know, try different things every day. So I think that's really fun. You can kind of be versatile and try new styles every day and just keep playing with it. Like I said, have an open mind, and anyone can do this. Seriously, it's pretty simple. So let me just go over my notes real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything. Upsell the brushes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, I'm gonna throw it back to you, Micah.
Thank you so much, Emma. So like Emma said, anybody can do these looks. When I joined Unique, I didn't wear a whole lot of makeup, but when I wore eye makeup, I only used one color, and it was like the same color, like, I mean, just almost like the color of Sexy. And that's all I put on my eyes. Nothing else, never a second shade or anything. And then once I started using the pigments, you know, I started exploring and playing with them. And I, by no means, am near as good as Emma or any of these ladies at putting on eyeshadow, but the more you use them, the more comfortable you'll feel. I've even made some videos showing my friends, like, look, if I can use 2 or 3 colors, so can you. So like she said, you can get these products really easy, and you're going to get commission. You're going to get money back on it right after you order. All the brushes that you need, we have them. These are the best products out there. So if you don't have them, get your hands on them. And just start playing with them. I stay at home with my kids, so I don't wear makeup every day. But there's a lot of times I'll go, like when I got these new palettes, I just went and started playing in the mirror, started doing different looks on each eye, practicing so I could show my customers. So even if you feel like your skills aren't as good as Emma's, just start playing with it, practicing, and just learn how to do it. Someone asked if Emma has tutorial videos on YouTube. I don't think she does. Do you, Emma? Or I guess she can type in the chat. So another thing I'm going to suggest is don't go friend request all of these ladies. Go follow them. I think they all have their follow feature on. And if you see something you really like a look Emma does, Christy does a lot of really pretty eyeshadow, and so does Carrie, I'll go get the image, they'll put what colors they use, and I go try and recreate it. And then I'll kind of compare and figure out what I need to do to up my game and make my eyeshadow look better. So go follow them and kind of follow what they have to offer. Thank you. Okay, so next up is Christy, and Christy is going to talk about Everything Touch, especially our new concealer and liquid. Okay, hold on, Betty. Sorry. I have helpers. Especially our new liquid and our concealer. I did ask her to talk about our cream and our powder, just because everyone is loving our cream and powder right now. Like, I sell so much of it. So she's going to talk about all of those for us. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Christy.
Hi, y'all. I'm going to try to get my iPad to stand up. Can y'all hear me? I don't have a chat, so I don't know if anybody can hear me.
I can hear and see you.
Okay, good deal. So I'm going over all of the Touch foundations, from the cream to the pressed powder to the new concealer and the liquid foundation. And what I'm going to do today is 1/2 is going to be the cream and powder, 1/2 is going to be the liquid and concealer. So, like Carly suggested in the beginning, upselling, you need to upsell the primer. This is the old packaging. This stuff lasts forever, and I think I've had this bottle for 6 months. And anyways, another tip, which I forgot to prime before, this is my naked face, so put my primer on real quick. And a little tip with the primer. You're supposed to prime your face and let it sit for 5 minutes before you apply. I learned that at convention. So, and that's my makeup has lasted, or looked so much better since doing that. Okay, so, of course, in our cream foundations, it comes with a sponge, which I like. I'm not going to lie, I like. But I prefer blending buds. And if you don't have blending buds, this is another upsell. I personally like the way it gives a flawless finish. And I actually use this for my cream foundation and my liquid. So, and here's another little tip. you're supposed to use these damp. So I don't have a faucet next to me, so I'm just going to put it underwater, wring it out, and then I have a towel somewhere, and just get the wetness out. You have to use it wet or damp. If you don't, your sponge is going to like soak up the makeup. So swirl it in. So this side is going to be the cream. And what you want to do, you don't want to smear. I was guilty of it. I was guilty of it for a long time, to just like sit there and rub it in. No, you want to dab it into your skin. You want it to blend in with your pores, or you want to make sure that it's all nice and smushed in. Okay, so let's get that line down there. Gotta watch out for my eyebrows. And I'll kind of show you, like Carrie mentioned about the eyebrows, to go around them to really highlight them. Use the little part to get in these little creases, dark circles. And my lighting is horrible. I'm sorry. My husband's home and he's in my good lighting. So I came into my little spare bedroom office area. And make sure you get up into your hairline really good. And a little bit about the cream foundations. It's lightweight. It melts right into your skin. It has the ultimate coverage. It helps minimize pores. It gives a youthful glow. And it's gluten-free. So that's a good thing. Okay, now the pressed powder. This also comes with a little sponge. A lot of people like using the sponge. I personally don't. So I use a big puff brush. And I just get it, swirl it in there. To me, my personal preference, I feel like it gives a more flawless look. So swirl it in. Go in little circles. And these two foundations used together, the cream and the powder, give the best coverage. So, like I have a friend, she has really oily skin. She couldn't wear the cream, but she can wear the pressed powder. So the pressed powder is really good for oily skin. It's really matte. It's a really matte finish. So, get this finished up. It's not chalky or grainy. And it's gluten-free as well. And I got a little hairbrush on me. Okay, here is just the cream foundation and the pressed powder. And here is my natural skin. Good coverage. This was my favorite. And I sell a lot of the Touch foundations because I do videos on them. I post about them. I do before and after pictures with them. I love them. It even covers up my dark circles, and I have really bad dark circles. Let's see, before we move on. Okay, let's go on to the liquid foundation. And this stuff is awesome. So I got to order my Cloud9 collection early, and it comes in a glass bottle with a little teardrop. I don't know if y'all can hear my cat. She is freaking out because she can't be in here right now. But if I let her in, she'll be flying all over the place. So, okay. Anyway, shake it up. And then here's what I do. I apply it on the back of my hand. So I put a couple little drops like that. And you can apply this foundation. It's a liquid to powder foundation. So, I've seen people apply it with their fingers and they like it, or a foundation brush, or a blending bud. Here's what I like to do. This is what I have figured out, my little trick since I got it. I like to put it all over my face with my foundation brush, but then I like to go back with my blending bud and go on top of it and dab it in. So y'all see how little I have on my hand. This is probably going to be a whole lot. Okay, so get my blending bud nice and wet. Now you can just use the blending bud straight from your hand, but I have figured out that the foundation brush makes it go a longer ways. And another little tip that I have learned, if you do not use the blending buds and you just use a foundation brush, don't smear it. You have to use it just like the blending buds or a sponge. Like, you sit there and tap it into your skin. You don't want the smearing, because it'll leave little smear marks. You want it to look natural. So if you do it this way, tap it into your skin. And this liquid to powder foundation is good for oily skin. It has good coverage. Has little optical diffusers in there to blur blemishes. And another little tip, like if you don't have the concealer, like if you need more coverage in an area, just apply a little bit more. So I'm just going to show y'all. A little bit right there. And always dab. Okay, since this is a powder finish, it will dry into a powder. And you don't have to top it off with a powder if you don't want to. I personally like a little bit more coverage, so I like to take my pressed powder again with my big puff brush and go over it. And this foundation is also gluten-free. And it's good for really all types of skin. Now I'm going to quickly go over the concealer. So this concealer is crazy pigmented. Like, if you don't have it yet, just going to tell you now, a little goes an extremely long ways. So take it on the back of your hand. You see how little that is? That is actually way too much, because I was only going to do one eye. And that will do both. I'm not kidding. And you have to put it on your skin somewhere, because you want it to warm up before you apply it to your skin. So if you don't have a concealer brush, use your ring finger, because it has less pressure. So I'm just going to use my concealer brush. And this is the same color as my foundation. So if you're just wanting to hide blemishes or scars, you want it to be the same color as your foundation. If you're wanting to highlight it, you know, like right now, it's real popular to highlight and contour, like to have it a little bit lighter under your eyes, you need to get 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin. Top it back off with the puff brush. So as you can see, they're both, I'm sorry y'all, my lighting is like really bad. Maybe that will help some. Okay, as you can see, This is the cream and pressed powder. This is the liquid with a little bit of pressed powder, not very much. So they both give amazing coverage. And how to pick which foundation is best for your client or for yourself is based on their skin tones. So if you have someone typically with oily skin, I wouldn't suggest the cream foundation. I would suggest the cream to powder or just the pressed powder. If you have someone with dry skin, I suggest the liquid. It's so versatile, and that's what I love about these products. Let me see. I'm going to go over some fun little tips over this concealer that I just learned about today, and I thought it was pretty cool. You know there was shea butter in this, and the shea butter is pretty much just a skin conditioning agent. It also has olive oil in there, and it has titanium dioxide, which helps support skin response to ultraviolet lights, UV lights, so the sun. So it's not SPF, but it just helps back up your skin pretty much. Let me see. Micah, has there been any questions asked?
Yeah, I do have a couple questions for you. So first off, someone asked, they said the first video they watched, the person said to swirl with a brush. I guess I don't really know what they're asking. Maybe why do you think you shouldn't do that?
Like a foundation brush?
I don't know. They didn't say, but that's my guess.
Well, now, I mean, when we were at convention, they did say that you could use the liquid to powder foundation with a big puff brush. I personally haven't tried it yet because, I mean, I like the way that my blending buds work. So.
I know Carly Pass said she tried it with a brush and it went on very, very well. So, I mean, I think probably the best thing is for everyone to try and figure out, you know, what works best with their type of skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone wanted to know about your eye look. I know that's way off topic, but what colors are you wearing?
This is palette number 2. I'm wearing, let me think. Let me find it. Okay. I'm wearing Blissful all over the bottom lid. And then I've got Hopeless from like the inner corner to about halfway up into the crease only. And then I'm wearing Perplexed in the outer V, and I just blended the Perplexed and the Hopeless together. And then I think I have Curious underneath the pigment underneath. And that's it.
Awesome. Okay.
But I have a few more things on helping to pick out undertones. Our foundations come in cools, warm, and neutrals tones. So someone with pink tones, a way to figure out which undertones they are. If you are in natural lighting, like if you're in the sun and you look at your veins, if your veins are purple or blue veins, you're pink tones. So I think our pink tones are organza, chiffon, and I don't remember the darker ones. Satin maybe, or no, satin's yellow. So warm tones means if your veins have green or an olive tint to it, that means you're yellow. You have a yellow undertone. And if your veins, if you really can't tell if they're blue or green or purple, if you really just can't tell, more than likely you're going to be in neutral undertone. And neutral will actually go with a lot of different tones. And I used to think when I first learned about these tones, if someone had pink undertones, why would they want a pink foundation on top of it? Like, it's just going to be even more pink. But no, it really, it works, you know. So get the undertones that works best for them. And there was another little tip that I just forgot. I think that's it so far. I don't have any more tips, Micah.
Okay, I've got a couple more things for you. So Carrie answered it in the chat bar, but just in case other people are on their phone and can't see, someone asked about why you wouldn't use concealer first. That's what, I mean, I never really used concealer growing up, but until convention, I didn't understand that. So will you address that real quick?
Yes. The reason why you don't conceal first is because your foundation is going to cover up a lot of it, and you're going to need less product of your concealer, so you won't be wasting as much. So, like I've always done my concealer after my foundation. So that's that tip.
Okay, so someone asked, so no need to apply powder over the liquid. No, you don't. I mean, I can answer that. No, you don't have to. It dries. It doesn't have that dewy look to it like, you know, the cream foundation does. So you don't have to. Christy was saying she used powder because she wants more coverage. I believe the liquid is a medium to full coverage. Would you agree with that, or do you think it's more medium?
I think it is too. Yeah, definitely. And also, I don't know, when I ordered my Cloud9, I ordered taffeta. I thought I did. I don't know if they sent me the wrong one or if I accidentally clicked velour, but I didn't care. When I got it in, I was not about to return it. I was like, I'll make it work. So this actually has a yellow undertone, and I'm a neutral undertone. So that's why another reason why I like to apply my powder, neutral powder, on top of it, because it helps get rid of that yellow a little bit.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to plug my computer in before I lose the whole webinar. Okay. There is another question. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so you just said what color you were using. Okay, and Carrie answered about the BB Flawless, the difference between BB cream and the liquid. I mean, Christy pretty much talked about this, but when your client or customer is asking the foundations, you need to ask them questions. You know, you need to find out if they have oily skin, because like she said, the cream's not going to work for someone who has oily skin. You need to suggest...
Or the BB cream. BB cream won't work for oily skin.
Yeah, and the BB cream and, in my opinion, the loose concealers, they're not very much coverage. So if you have someone who has dark circles or, you know, they're wanting the coverage, you need to know what to tell them. I have a video that covers it. You can go back and rewatch what Christy just shared. We have notes in the team pages. You just really need to get to know the products, as that's how you sell them, is making your customer happy. And like I said earlier in the webinar, we're not just mascara. We have all of these products to sell. And when you get someone that flawless look with their makeup, this makeup is going to run out a little bit faster than mascara, and they're going to be back every 4 to 6 weeks wanting everything they're going to need. You know, the foundation, the powder, and, you know, the bronzer is going to run out, you know, after so many months. So don't just sell mascara, sell it all and get those customers coming back time after time after time, and they're going to be loyal to you. They can go buy mascara from any presenter, but if you match them with the color. And also something I learned at convention is people will keep like a notebook, and they'll write down their customer and the color that they used. So you don't have to go back and do the whole color matching process again. Have all that information. You keep it. You know, you're the presenter. Are the videos on your YouTube page, Micah? You know, I'm not sure about my foundation video. I'll get it on YouTube. I don't think it is. So if anybody has any other questions, get them in the chat real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. Me and Carly will talk, and we will figure out what our next call is going to be, and we'll let everyone know. I just want to tell everyone, thanks again for getting on the call. Thank you so much to Carrie and Emma and Christy for talking with us. They're all so amazing at makeup. Y'all go follow them. Learn from them. Don't send them messages unless you're on their team. Don't blow up their boxes, because then we can't do this anymore. You can follow them and see everything they post. And then you can ask questions inside your team page, and if your lead doesn't know the answer, they'll go get it. Okay, so one last question. I have sensitive skin and a few dark spots that I want covered. What would you suggest for me?
Concealer and liquid, probably.
Okay, perfect. All right, so thanks again for everyone for getting on, and we will see you on our next call. Bye.